Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with another installment of Shared Trait Spotlight. Last week we finished up our look at the House of X shared traits. I opted against doing one on the Mutant Chimera trait, as even though it is a shared trait, it doesn't appear on too many figures, and I'd have to pull in too many additional figures without the trait to make a team. So, yeah. Anyway. This week, we're getting started on the shared traits from Fantastic Four Future Foundation. And where better to start than with the Council of Doom. So, some background, story-wise. In Future Foundation, the Fantastic Four ended up having to deal with a group called the Council of Reeds, who are an interdimensional council of multiversal versions of Reed Richards. It's like the Council of Ricks, just less funny. At least intentionally so. I'm sure there were funny moments that were intended to be funny, but dry humor as opposed to, Rick humor. But anyway, as a means of combating them, the FF recruited a handful of their greatest enemies, including their greatest enemy, the Lord of Latveria himself, Dr. Doom. But Dr. Doom was all... And this came at a point when Dr. Doom and the FF had a much less antagonistic relationship, so... But anyway... yeah, he assembled a team of villains, each one with a specialty. Basically go, with the intention of, they're going to help the FF take on the Council of Reeds. And all five, to the best of my knowledge, they were all presented in the recent Future Foundation HeroClix set. Starting with none other than the Lord of Latveria himself, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom here comes in at either 75 or 50 points, has the Minions of Doom and Fantastic Four team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four, Latveria, Mystical, and Scientist keywords. We've got two traits. The Council of Doom's expert on destroying Richards. Each of these traits is basically the Council of Doom's... In some cases, expert, in others, just, Well, no, actually, it is all, they are all, it's the Council of Doom's experts, basically. Sideline active, unique modifier. Friendly captains and sidekicks modify attack +1 when attacking one or more characters with the Fantastic Four keyword. Also of note, Doom has the ally and captain roll tags. Next up, we've got The Strong Survive. Once per turn, when an opposing character is healed, after resolutions, you may heal one click on Dr. Doom or a sidekick. That's kind of his captain shtick there. Now, looking at his dial, we open up with some running shot and speed, followed by sidestep, then some late dial force blast. We've got ourselves a range value of 6. He's got penetrating psychic blast, followed by energy explosion, a blank click, and then more energy explosion on attack. On defense, he's got the special power Enhanced Shielding to start with, which gives him Defend, Inertial Deflection, and Invulnerability. And yeah, that Defend, he can pass on an 18 or a 17. So that's not too shabby, actually. We then get some regular Inertial Deflection, back to the special power, and then 2 more clicks of regular Inertial Deflection. On damage, we open up with Outwit. We get a mid-dial block of Leadership, which is kind of a surprise in the mid-dial, but a welcome sight nonetheless, followed by a couple more clicks at the end of Outwit. So, next up we've got the Thinker, or the Mad Thinker. Mad Thinker is a long-time Fantastic Four villain. He's a roboticist. He built the awesome android, as well as other automatons, including ones of himself. There was actually a period where he changed his name from the Mad Thinker to simply the Thinker, basically kind of saying that, he's not mad anymore. But anyway, Mad Thinker comes in at either 40 or 20 points, has the Fantastic Four and Minions of Doom team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four Robot and Scientist keywords. We also have 2 traits. First off, Council of Doom's Engineering Expert. Sideline active, unique modifier. Friendly captains on the side gets modify attack +1 when attacking one or more characters with the robot keyword. Next up, Unrivaled Roboticist to the Underworld. Perplex, but only to target characters with the robot keyword. Okay. Looking at his dial, we get a couple of stealth, followed by some mid-dial sidestep, then back to stealth. Nothing on attack, sadly. We open up some willpower, then we get some mid-dial toughness, and then one final click of willpower on the next to last click. On damage, however, that's kind of the big surprise. A full run of Outwit. I've actually used him and used him quite well on a Fantastic Four team about a month or so ago. He actually did a good job. But moving on, we've got the Wizard. Now, one thing that was going on during Future Foundation with the Wizard is that his mental health was deteriorating. Not so much going crazy, I haven't read Future Foundation. I know of this going on, but yeah. But part of the whole thing was that he had a clone of himself named Bentley, who was a student within the Future Foundation, and he was constantly trying to get Bentley to basically become a young him. But yeah. Anyway, so the Wizard comes in at 60 points or 60 or 30 points. Has the Team Player and Fantastic Four team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four and Scientist keywords. Then we got 2 traits. The Council of Doom's Advanced Tech Expert. Sideline active, unique modifier. Friendly captains and psychics modify attack +1 when attacking one or more characters with the Scientist keyword. Okay, alright. Next up, we have Anti-Grav Discs. Free. Choose an opposing character within range and line of fire and roll a d6. Knock that character back numbers where it's equal to half the result in a direction of your choosing. Now, that can be very useful, because you could... Maybe you've got a... maybe you were planning to... attack someone on your turn with one character, but they moved that character out, but your opponent moved that character out of the way, but still within within 6 squares in line of fire of Wizard. So Wizard then uses his anti-grav disc trait to put them back, but to where they can be. It's easier for them to be targeted by the character we're going to attack with. Looking at the Wizard's dial, we've got a full run of sidestep on move speed. On attack, we open with we got Quake top dial followed by Incapacitate. On defense, we got Inertial Deflection followed by Toughness. On damage, we open up with a nice block of Outwit followed by a couple of Perplex at the very end. Not too shabby. Next up, we've got Diablo. Now, it should also be mentioned Diablo does have equipment, which we will be showing off as well. So Diablo here comes in at 60 points, has the Fantastic Four and Mystics team abilities, as well as the Fantastic Four, Mystical, Past, and Scientist keywords. We've got, again, 2 traits. The Council of Doom's expert on the Mystic Arts. Same thing, friendly captains that modify attack +1 when targeting one or more here with the Mystical keyword. Then Alchemical Mastery, which allows Diablo to start the game with the advanced alchemical potion equipped. When he rolls for its effect, you may choose any number up to the result with a minimum of 1. So basically, well, we'll go into that when we look at the equipment itself. Looking at his dial, We open up with a few clicks of stealth, followed by a few clicks of sidestep. Then we get a final click of stealth. On attack, we open up the special power. Do you trust your own eyes? Incapacitate and smoke cloud. Smoke cloud is free, but only can generate up to 3 markers in adjacent squares. Okay. We get some mid to late dial steel energy, then back to the special power. On defense, we open up with willpower, which then gives for a couple clicks, which then gives way to super senses. On damage, we open up with outwit for a couple clicks, then a couple clicks of perplex, then a couple probability control, and one more click at the end of outwit. Okay. Now for that alchemical potion. First off, here is the sculpt. Now you might notice that there's a little triangle right here on it. That's basically designed to be an indicator, as the card for it looks like this. You set the potion in there. The indicator then is supposed to denote a specific number or a specific power. So the effect is that you can roll a d6 and you turn the potion clockwise a number of colors equal to the result. The character can use that power till the end of your turn. So, with Diablo's trait, where he can roll up, he can move, he can actually cut himself short. Ugh. Now you still have to. Oh God. You still have to. It still has to move. So if you have a power you already like and you roll, you're going to lose that power. But the available powers are regeneration, telekinesis, flurry, energy explosion, pulse wave, exploit weakness, enhancement, incapacitate, plasticity, close combat expert, empower, and poison. So let's say you're on. Let's say you're on poison. You roll, and you get it's equipped to Diablo, and you get a 5. So from poison, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down to enhancement. But with Diablo, you could say, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop here at close combat expert. That way I can do some damage myself. So, which, okay, yes, poison does deal damage as well, but you get what I'm saying. So that's pretty cool. The Prime version has another thing going on. That's another note, is that with Mad Thinker, Wizard, Diablo, Evolutionary, non-Council of Doom versions of them are the Primes in the set. So, finally, we've got the High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary here comes in at 125 points or 30 points. Has the Cosmic Energy team ability, Power Cosmic, as well as the Fantastic Four, Cosmic, and Scientist keywords. We've got 2 traits. Council of Doom's expert on Cosmic Affairs. Friendly characters inside get attack, modify attack +1 when attacking one or more characters with the Cosmic keyword. One thing I will point out, I'm not entirely certain if those traits only take effect when the character's on the sideline, or if they're in effect when they're in play as well. I think they do, but I'm not 100% certain. In fact, when I used Mad Thinker so well a few weeks back, I didn't bother to. Well, he's not a captain anyway, so yeah. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, then we have rewrite your genetic code. During force projection, you may add isotope E to your force at no point cost and won't count toward your object total. Okay, all right. Looking at High Evolutionary's dial, we open up with a couple clicks of running shot on speed, followed by a nice block of sidestep, then back to running shot for the last couple clicks. On attack, we open up with Penetrating Psychic Blast, then Precision Strike, then back to Penetrating Psychic Blast. On defense, we open up with Invincible, which then gives way to a special power evolved into a new form. Stop Click, which grants Invincible and Super Senses. Then we get some Inertial Deflection, then back to Invincible, back to Inertial Deflection, and then on the final click, we've got the special power again. Damage-wise, he literally alternates back and forth between Probability Control and Outwit, and his damage does not drop below a 3. His attack doesn't drop below a 10, and even then, that's only on 1 click. The rest of the time, it's an 11. He's kind of the powerhouse of the group. Protected Outwit, built-in willpower, yeah. Alright, so what does Isotope E do? First off, that's the sculpt for Isotope E. Isotope A looks the same as well. I think there's maybe a slightly different coloration, but yeah. After forces are revealed, you may move Isotope E to your sideline. If you do, the object has sideline active. At the beginning of the game, you may replace a character on your starting force with a character from your sideline of the same name and point value. If you do, KO this object. Okay. That's... I can see the use for it, but yeah, it's it's not going to work out the way I initially thought. But anyway, so as we usually do on Shared Trait Spotlight, we then make a team. Now, obviously, we need to have Doom, because what's the Council of Doom without, Dr. Doom? And with there being so few, it does make it a little easy. In fact, the only question is, which character do we not include? Wizard or Diablo, as all 5 come out at full points, come out to 360. And Wizard and Diablo are both 60 points apiece. And honestly, I'm going to have to lean towards taking out the Wizard. So yeah, our Council of Doom team is even 300 points. I know it's a bit small. And consists of course, Dr. Doom for a quarter of the team, 75 points. Then we've got High Evolutionary, and you don't have to, there's no real effect for him having the Isotope E. You don't have to equip it to him, so he doesn't necessarily have to begin the game equipped with it. Then we've got the Mad Thinker. And finally, Diablo. Now, you can have some fun with this. Now, one thing that can be done is you could have all 5 of them on the sideline and basically run a Future Foundation team with like a couple captains and a whole bunch of sidekicks. It's not that hard to do. In fact, I've kind of I've built a few teams like that. But yeah. Now, to be perfectly honest, this is not a team I'd probably run because, it's with your only leadership is Dr. Doom's mid-dial leadership. So, sure, Mad Thinker and High Evolutionary and Diablo all start off with willpower, so they can potentially take tokens off themselves. But yeah. And yeah, High Evolutionary can work, but you have to basically make a point of keeping him safe, because even though he starts off with 4 damage, drops only as far down as a 3. If you're not hitting those willpower rolls, you're kind of screwed. Diablo, if you're not getting good rolls with the alchemical potion, yeah, there's a lot more that's having to do with dice in this than with your usual team. So, like I said, I probably wouldn't even run this team. Maybe someday I will, just out of just for shits and giggles to see how it works. But yeah. Anyway, that's all for now. We'll be back next week with our shared traits spotlight. This time, looking at yet another alternate version of the Fantastic Four. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.